Hi roses, my name is Tianna and welcome to my channel. Today's reading is going to be for fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. That could be your sun, moon, or rising sign. And this will be a reading about your upcoming week or the week ahead. No matter when you are watching this video, that will represent the week that you are either about to enter or the week that you're currently completing, so you can watch this at any point, but I am completing this reading on December 7th. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe, and if you are interested in more tarot content, you can find my Twitter at Tianna Rose Tarot, or use the link in the description box to book a personal reading with me. So today for our fire signs, we had two cards come out and they are both about trust. First, we have full quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe, and new moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. So as you enter or complete this week, there is a opportunity here for you to connect more deeply with trust in yourself, in the world around you, in the universe, in your spirituality, whatever that looks like for you. But this truly is trust that comes from within you. It is not about controlling certain outcomes around you or trying to control any people, trying to control anything to happen in a certain way. It is about trusting that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. It is about trusting that you will not be, ending up on a wrong path. And if you find yourself in a path that is not in alignment with you, you will course correct. Trusting yourself to be discerning, trusting yourself to notice when something isn't quite working out and making adjustments. It doesn't mean that you're never going to find yourself in a negative situation. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to control everything around you. It means connecting with your inner knowing and the universe that you are part of and that you are actively participating within, and trusting that no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. Also happening this week for our fire signs today, we have the card Love Bombing. So some of you may be in a romantic connection right now, or maybe this is something that happened in the past, a connection where somebody was, showing you a lot of affection too soon, or trying to portray themselves in a certain way to get you kind of hooked onto them. Could be conscious or it could be subconsciously on their part. This could also be something that potentially you were kind of perpetuating yourself. But connecting back to our cards about trust, it's remembering that even if you go through a type of situation like this, a situation that isn't really healthy, or somebody is either subconsciously or consciously being manipulative to try to keep you in your orbit, that doesn't mean that you are broken or that you are stuck in this toxic pattern that you're never going to get out of. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to find love or any of those things that you might be telling yourself or feeling based on this situation. Trust that that is not all there is. Then we have get out of your head. So this could be related to this situation, or it could just be in general, another situation that you're going through right now. Maybe you're overthinking. Maybe you have kind of gotten stuck because you're trying to make a decision and you can't figure out where you want to go. And this feeling of not trusting, this fear of what if I make the wrong decision, could be keeping you stuck in a position of stagnancy. And so this is a week to really try getting out of your head through this trust and recognizing that you really can't make a wrong decision, because if you go a certain way, you can always adjust. And lastly, we have justice is coming. So for some of you, that could mean coming to a sense or a feeling of justice from whatever this situation was over here. I don't think it necessarily means, getting back at somebody or even necessarily getting an apology or some kind of, admittal of whatever happened if somebody wronged you. It more so means, I think, an acceptance of, again, the fact that you can't necessarily control what other people do, and realizing that that person's actions or whatever situation came in, it does not adjust or have any impact on your worth. And there is something that is going to help you kind of feel like you're back on the right track. Maybe it's going to be a more external confirmation that you are still going to be okay, that whatever this is not going to, steer you too far off course. But overall, I think this is something internally coming in for you, something where you are reaching a point where you recognize that your worth is not tied to any other person or any situation, and that you can still trust that you're going to end up where you need to be. Even if you don't get the closure or, the traditional form of justice that you may be seeking, you're going to be getting something even better, is what I'm hearing. We have the card Lightning. So there may have been a situation here where somebody switched up on you pretty quickly, or something changed kind of overnight. And so this could have been something in the past, or it could be something that's coming in now. I think that this is ultimately a more positive change, but in the moment it might feel really intense or confusing. It might feel like an upheaval, but eventually you'll see that it is a necessary transformation. Yeah, we have the card Mask. So somebody, potentially this person, if you resonate with the love bombing card or feel wronged about anything from somebody in your past or a situation, this was somebody who wasn't necessarily being fully authentic. They were not showing up in an authentic way. And that's something that may have really unsettled you. If this relates to this change that was coming in, somebody who you might have realized really quickly that they had been lying to you, or that they hadn't been being fully truthful about what was happening. I think if this resonates, this is something that is already happened and not necessarily something that you're figuring out right now. But even though it can feel really scary to realize that somebody wasn't being fully upfront with you, this is more of a recognition of a lack of capacity within themselves to show up authentically. So it says a lot more about them than it does about you. It doesn't mean that you're, always going to be the one who is being tricked or something like that. I think some of you may be feeling like, why is it always me? And kind of coming from more of a victim mentality. And that's why I was saying with the Justice card, this isn't necessarily something where you're going to go from being a victim to a victory. It's more of reframing even being like a victim in the first place. That obviously, if these things happen to you, if you went through something really painful, that doesn't take away from the fact that that was a difficult situation in any way. But it's an opportunity for you to come back into your power. Let's get one more card. Okay, lastly, we have the beautiful card Abundance. So in this week, I really see you kind of being able to let a lot of these things go, as I said, even if you don't necessarily have the closure, even if you don't necessarily feel like the situation's fixed or like it's all better now, you are coming into a place where it doesn't necessarily even matter, because you recognize the abundance in yourself and in your life. You are going to be approaching this situation and your life in general from a completely new perspective, where you're now feeling much more in acceptance of where you've been and recognizing that you are okay, that it's not something that is going to permanently set you off course or create the situation that you're never going to come back from. You're realizing that even when you go through hard things, you can bounce back. You're realizing that even when things don't go the way you wanted them to, you may find even better opportunities. And ultimately coming into a deeper trust with yourself and with the universe, if that resonates with you. Even if you don't necessarily see those changes happening directly in front of you, you don't need that in order to feel that trust. The trust starts from trusting. It doesn't necessarily start from seeing those things around you. Once you start trusting, then you'll see the world around you adjusting in order to match that frequency that you're stepping into. So, especially if you've been going through some of these harder things in the past, could be something that happened as recently as last week, but you are going to be seeing a shift in this upcoming week to really recognizing that this person's actions or this situation is not impacting your worth or your life path. All right, thank you, fire signs.